So up to now, we still have the case before the PUL. I've pursued all the processes as I possibly could. I mean, before thinking about going to court. All the communication I did through communication to the CEO, I forwarded them to the PUL president, through Thomas Mulva here, and I told him that he needed to investigate Nathaniel Val. I laid the case for him that this is what he did, otherwise I will take him to court. If the PUL doesn't have a mechanism in place to checkmate terrible members of the field, the profession, then the option that is left for me will be used. So there we are. I think the PUL president is supposed to get to us when it comes to the stand with Nathaniel Val. Just to sidetrack, the last time I talked to one of our colleagues who is in the media business, and I told him what happened, what Nathaniel Val did. He was so annoyed. Oh, they man, and they man are working, I don't know, for internal affairs or so. But is that what he did to you? He said, yeah, the man called him. So this is what Chema reported. Why would you behave that way? Blah, blah, blah. Talk about apology. What have you. So we will continue to expect this sort of attack, for people who, in the first place, they're not journalists. But I know the journalists, they always say that there are two sides to a story. If you are told that John Brown stole X, Y, and Z thing, and John Brown is around, and you call yourself a journalist, work your salt, and you don't go and then find out from John Brown, this is what I heard about you. What's your side? Is it true? Then you are striking the balance of the story. But anything to the contrary, to take one side of the story, that means it presupposes that you are being paid to carry on malicious lie. You don't know that there are consequences of what you say. It can be in a court of law, because the burden of proof will be on your shoulder. You were accusing somebody. But some of them, when they get that small money, they don't even think. They think that all to it, with their limitation in education and everything else, you just go amok. And then later on, when they are faced with the harsh reality, they don't know what to do. The second one has to do with Freedom FM. We know what Freedom FM have represented in this country in the immediate past. They got on, first before then, I think I talked about Uni Robert, and what my interaction with him exchanges when he said, vice chair, people from here, whatever document is submitted, with respect to the vehicle that we have, I already told you about, call that vice chair is doing everything, doing procurement, what have you. Man invited you, come to the office. You say you got a document given to you by people from this office. Come. How else can a journalist carry on his or her task? If there's somebody accused, you say you got a document given to the person say, come. We can't talk on the phone. Some of what we do here, that's security related. So if the man invited you and you are convinced you have a document, why can't you come? Is that something difficult to do? So he texted me how he's doing this, he's doing that. And the ABC or journalism say this. So I said, look, but the PC said he has invited you. I believe you should follow that trend. Because the ABC or journalism you talk about, in my view, the fundamental stuff is that you should strike a balance in your reporting. Actually, so when the accused have invited you, or you can't even go to him, it has to do with institution. I'm the head. Why can't you come meet me with the so-called evidence you have on hand? Why? So we dilly-dally here and there, and then the Freedom FM there's another region to them. And so the expiration of that ultimatum should be today, 72 hours, otherwise than that, they will face court action. Everything is said, then I go to court and prove it. As I said, I want an easier way, which people have not exploited. Journalists get out of some of them, I mean, I'm not generalizing it, and attack people, character, without any concern that what they are doing is damaging. There is no truth to it. Then the next one has to do with Prophet Key. The same old thing with this vehicle story we talk about. Prophet Key is the type of preacher that you don't want to dignify. He's somebody like a scum of the earth. I would consider it. If you know what a scum of the earth is, I think that's why someone like Prophet Key. Firstly, someone who has no respect for a woman who hadn't listened to a program. I mean, he just kicked me off because he's like someone who mother cursing, mother and father. Because if you are insulting one woman, you're insulting all, including your mom, your sister. So those are the things that should guide anybody who is intelligent, if at all, you don't do that. No matter what someone tells you, you don't go and then start having cursing, woman cuss all over the place. I mean, that kind of question, I mean, I just don't know. So Prophet Key talk part of his rubbish. As I said, I don't even follow him. But someone calls and say, oh, Prophet Key is all you go. He did that. Let him go. I believe even the president, he can cause the president sometimes. But that's who he is. And if by someone giving such, a scum information that's misleading just to tarnish good character, that's all to me. The last one before the DC or commissioner an addition to me has to do with, and this Zach, this comes strictly to you. A report from your newspaper yesterday, Voice appeared online, that attributing something to the IAA, that there was a leak audit report. They said a host of things online and then it was printed. Yesterday in the morning, my communication fellow called me early in the morning that so on priority online. I said, well, what happened? So there's a leak audit report. Blah, blah, blah. So I said, well, I have not even read it, so on my way coming, I bought the paper. The front page, Commerce Minister and myself, a photo there. And on the report that I have no idea about whatsoever. Because if an audit is done in an institution, the institution head or the institution will have to respond to it. Besides that, the IAA agents then that come to the institution, they are not authority on themselves. If you have reports, you have conducted audit, there are GSC send auditors. Those auditors don't have any authority to release audit reports. They are not proper with any authority. So apart from the fact that we didn't address ourselves to any report, the IAA head does not know anything about this report. The young man, due to his own criminality, wrote down reports without the consent of IAA. And his income problem, just for that. Because it's an embarrassment to the institution, and you have the right attack you in particular because you have to set that record straight. Whoever your reporter is, you need to gather. You can call the IAA head, which is so easy to do, to find out whether they release that crap that appear imperative about the commission. So we take it very seriously, and you have been here at least covering us. You've been doing well, but if you got something that is damaging, that what's the basis of this audit report? Where did it come from? And this guy who has similar experience, the auditors, when they hear nobody's supposed to get their money. But as human beings, sometimes they come, oh, chief, the money we're making, it's not too much, but maybe the other place, the other person die, I'm going there. They give them money, they're not signing for it. For the most part, they refuse to sign. They fail to realize that the money that they're receiving, someone has to account for it. If you claim to be a Puritan, then don't take money, be asking people for money. The first one that was here, the same thing he did. And you will recall, this is a man, he comes, the chairman of my car down, went lofa, my family people did that, we need some help. Give this man money every now and then. But there's no end to them making their request. But the big request, now you do it, that's the time now they will, they start getting their mischief and what happened. So that one will recall. Husband said, okay, but then you will come to that headquarters will see besides his salary, monthly salary, where you get money from. So that's the same path this young man said. There's no truth to what he put up. It was a scheme by himself, and you can find that out from IAA head, Zach. Please, so that we have the air clear as much as possible, because we do run newspaper, because we'll be able to every time come up to say this and that, but we have this one opportunity. That's what start the quality war, New Dawn, analyst, charity, at least whenever the guy observer, but you represent mainstream media in the country. You know what I mean? Or not following some of those fly by night, media entities that call themselves. So I think in a nutshell about it is, but they're posting on the IA stuff, take it very seriously, and run it. I'll be able to take questions from any of you. Thank you.
Yeah, I think I will begin. Let me just, I want to believe, because I've been here covering a couple of issues, but maybe just to let you know, I'm in transit. I've left Verity for a couple of months. I'm not there, so relatively to the report you talk about, I don't think it was at the time I was heading the news there at Verity. So let me just make clarity. And my next issue is that you have taken a couple of steps in terms of those misinformation about the institution or about you and the individuals around you. You talk about the press union of Liberia. Would you mind giving us space? I heard you talk about 72 hours ultimatum. Would you mind giving us space? The fact that you're already following the due process in terms of handling the issue with journalists who have perhaps spilled lies or misinformation about you. Would you mind giving space apart from the 72 hours, since you are following the right trend?
I mean, space in terms of
time.
To
talk about code. What are you considering? What are you considering more time to give room to the press union, apart from you going to the court?
The communication was not with the press union. I think it was the head of Freedom FM.
Okay.
The press union I talked about was what had to do with Kool FM, Nathaniel Power, and ourselves in the institution, which was up back as March, April.
Okay.
So I'm talking about the most recent one, Kool FM. That's a different story. Does that answer your question or?
Yeah, I was just more concerned whether there are more time. They want with the PUL, whether PUL has will be able to have time to handle both matters, or just dealing with it separately.
Well, there's separately really, because this one, as I say, has been with PUL until the latest one came out, which they go through PUL.
Now, okay, my follow-up question is, would you mind perhaps going more detail for much more clarity, talk about the audit report, the quote-unquote audit report that is coming from some individuals? Maybe you want to give the public more space to understand if there was an audit done and what specific issues were looked at, so the public can get a clear understanding.
Well, I think I made it clear that as far as we're concerned, there's no audit report submitted to us, and we have audit reports. We supposed to address ourselves today. Failure to do that, the auditor has heard, he will communicate. In fact, the report is supposed to go to the head to begin with, so that to say, look, this is what we did at the institution. We wrote the entity. We're not getting any redress, so we forward it to you. He is not a boss unto himself.
Okay.
Yeah, let's get that clear. Okay. And that's why I told you, you have the right to contact the head of IAA. And that will make it very clear.
Mr. Chairman, let us establish it. Well, there's an audit conducted.
What happened here is that there's an internal auditor. Okay. What about in that GAC and stuff like that? IAA, somebody assigned here.
Okay.
Normally, you have some farm or certain things to get clarification, which the controller usually handle. But they say audit done here, no. That's not the case.
So I want to take it back. We will explain out of the effort made to bring the commission up to date in terms of infrastructure. So, what are you currently involved with the direct work with small arms? What are you doing so that the public can get some understanding?
Well, yeah, the key task on hand is the civilian arm registration. Commissioner Douglas here can speak with that because she is in charge as commissioner responsible. We have made some progress. We still trying to get some funding. As I said, the next thing we're supposed to do is to begin registering single barrel gun, which is a huge tax because the hunters out there they are waiting for a team to reach them. So that is our main line of activity for now.
So there's almost 3 instances of misinformation targeting you. How do you intend to have this subside, or I know you the courts will allow result, but what can you do internally so that the right information from the commission can reach to the public and people speaking whatever they want to, and you have the habit of coming back to clarify and all that?
Well, We have a communication arm of the commission, and sometimes this type of issue come up, like the case of Papa Key or some of the other journalists. I mean, it's, you ask yourself, do we engage in direct contact with them, engage them through writing, getting to the public view? I mean, it's not just an easy thing to do, because this is not just happening to us as an institution. It goes across the board. When you explain, you consider the journalist name, the other person say, oh, that man there just forgot it, that he worked, you know, to blackmail you to do this. I mean, that's, for certain so-called journalists, that's what defines them, you know. So, I mean, it's as I said, it's all out there, you know. It's happening. I have been a victim of it several times, even when I was the election commission, you know. But if you have occasion to say you want to write, and sometimes I want them to say, look, let's write and pass the information, but your writing will not equal to probably the message that will go on there. If the man has a radio station, got so many people listening to him, and carry on a smear campaign, except where you hit it at the top to make sure that it's dealt with. Other than that, if you just want to do one writing, you will not be able to succeed. So that is another.
I know you really want to, or you are not to run a commission